Hello, hello. How is everybody doing? Actually, I probably should have moved this. Maybe if I go like that, kind of. It's like, so I'm facing you guys a little bit. Let's see here. All right. I got my little armrest here. So, hey, Linda, Diana, Jam. I came on here, well, it's just a few minutes early, just because I know I did change the time, and sorry about that. Senior or junior? One is Marlena Crawford's dad, and one is her brother. So, anyways, guys, I gotta stand for my drink. Hi, Patricia. Venus right here wanting to say hi. You want to say hi? Okay, just kidding. Just kidding. So, anyways, how's it going? I wanted to talk about this. I've been wanting to talk about the Knoxville thing, because I've been kind of like, I've just kind of thought of it, or just recently thought of this kind of, I guess, theory or whatever. And I honestly don't know how I feel about it, if it is true. I don't know. At the time, I didn't realize, like, while we were waiting for Fred to get placed and stuff, I didn't think that there could be something going on. I mean, I thought they were like maybe screwing with us. Why it took so long. Anyways, we have a lot of like really strange things that have occurred with this whole like Knoxville thing. When Fred got transferred to transitional living house for his court ordered probation. And this was, let's see, if you guys remember, Fred went to jail in June. It was June of 2023. And when he was in jail, that's when me and him started like talking a lot more regularly, on a more regular basis, because he's in a confined spot where I know where he is. It's easy. He's, you know what I mean? So, we started talking a lot, and I decided that, oh, it'd be cool to have like a recorded interview with him, while he was in there. And I didn't really think anything of it. They have them all over the internet, all over the place. Everybody else does these jail calls, and no big deal, right? But yeah, things got kind of weird. Oh, I got your drink in there.
Yeah, June the 13th. So
June 13th. Hey, crazy mom. Wise old lady. So went to jail June 13th. And soon he found out that, he had to do I think it was 6 months or something, jail time. And he was supposed to get out in December, like December 12th, 2023. Did that happen? Did it happen even close to December 12th of 2023? Which was real strange because me and him made sure in advance, like, to be on it. Like, I was on it from the very beginning, make sure he was going to be placed. So he went, as soon as his jail time was up, he would go straight to Transition's house. Well, for some odd reason, it came time to him to go to this house, and then all of a sudden, like, it wasn't ready. It wasn't ready, you know, which is odd. You wouldn't think that they could keep you past your time, but yes, they can. If you are ordered by the court to go to like some kind of rehab or something, you have to sit there until something comes open. And it wasn't until 2 days after Summerwell's birthday in February 6th of 2024 that he finally got transferred to, all places, Knoxville, East Knoxville, Tennessee, which was the strangest thing. Like, at the time, we thought was so freaking weird. You won't go through. Did you try the link? I took off a lot of the links with Nightbot. I think it's what is it? Member, like that? Are you? I forget what the code is. I sat for it. Or wait, hold on, join. I think it was join. Right there. Click that link that Nightbot just put up. Try it that way. So would have been real crazy if he was transferred on Summerwell's birthday, but it was actually 2 days after. You know, and then you guys, he gets there, which I have this book right here. And this was on the counter. Hold on. The counter at the Transitions house in Knoxville, in the kitchen. Mount Carmel, FWB Church Cookbook, Beach Creek Road, Rogersville, Tennessee. And what's so strange about this, now I'm not saying that this has anything to do with like, or that the law enforcement put that there or anything. This was just like a little strange thing that happened. And something, what's weird about this, not only is this cookbook from the church right over there on Beach Creek near Mount Carmel Church in Rogersville, 2 hours away, but Fred's daughter was a part of making this cookbook, and actually had a lot of her recipes put in this cookbook because her husband's a traveling preacher. So cool story about this cookbook and when Fred went to the transitionist house, which I already, and now I'm starting to believe is like all set up by law enforcement. I'm going to tell you why I believe that. And it's really, really, really strange that Fred gets placed in Knoxville of all places. Of all places he could be placed. Nobody out there he was with, or nobody out there was out. I mean, I think there was one person possibly that may have was going to come from Hawkins. But it wasn't that often. Most people who were ordered there, a lot of them were for the Knoxville area. What's up?
There was one come from Hawkins, but he didn't come in until like 3 months in.
Yeah.
I was there about 3 months.
So 2 weeks before Fred gets there, there was a guy who got there named DJ Smith, who, later on comes up to Fred and says, somehow, you guys got to remember how much attention was on Fred. You guys remember how much shit, like people were calling the jail and stuff. And me and Fred were starting to get like even closer. We were talking more regularly and people were calling the jail, harassing the jail. You guys all remember that, right? I had that phone call on YouTube, blah, blah, blah. I truly believe that they placed Fred in Knoxville because they knew of other people that could have information on Summer Wells. Because, for one, they knew that me and Fred, that I had a YouTube channel, and that also they knew that Fred also had been working with law enforcement.
And it was almost like when I turned my phone and stuff in, had it did, like they already knew about being a snitch.
It's like they already knew about it and they were ready to hear from you or something.
They had picture and stuff there. They showed me, asked me if that was him. I said, yeah.
It's just really strange. And he was supposed to get out on December 12th, guys, and he didn't get out till February 6th. They made him sit for almost almost 2 extra months. So he had to sit 2 extra months waiting for this Knoxville place to open up, which was kind of shitty because, Fred would have done it for him. I'm sure if it was in the name of Summer Wells, but, would have been kind of nice to freaking know. It's right here, Chloe. We couldn't get anybody. It was the hardest, most difficult thing around that time, trying to get any thing taken care of. I just do not believe this Knoxville placement was accidental. I just do not believe it now at this point. And it's kind of shitty that they, he had to do a couple months extra time. If it's true, just so that he make sure that Fred was in there at the same time as this guy. If you guys think about it, this DJ Smith didn't get there until like a couple weeks before Fred got there. Fred had to sit in jail 2 extra months waiting for a place at this house that was freaking bare. There was tons of freaking spots open. I swear, guys, they planned this the perfect timing. I'm telling you, they had to have known somehow that who was going to be at that house, that there was possible people with information on Summer Wells or something. The whole Knoxville connection. This was like literally within miles of the motels, of all the Playboy accusations and stuff. I wish I knew who put this cookbook in there. I don't know, but let's see here also. Should have had this prepared and ready, but media files. I'll pull up this screenshot here in a second that somebody found. It's really interesting. I've been trying to duplicate it again and have it pop up again, but thought about just emailing it to TBI because I wonder, I mean, surely though that they found this. I mean, surely they did a search of the freaking internet, interwebs. You guys all knew that Allie had child abuse charges, right? A couple months before Summer went missing. I didn't know if you guys, that was something that somebody sent me, and I didn't know if you guys remembered about that. Just that's a side note. It was March 2nd, 2021. I remember seeing this. Sherry Mullaney, 3 charges. So right here, so this is why it looks like she used a browser Yandex to pull this up. I mean, I haven't been able to replicate it. I'm trying to pull this up myself, but she said when she clicked on it, it went to a just a private video, a blank a private video. Guys, this is weird. I wasn't able to find any other link that was before June 15th of 2021 about Summer Wells. But somebody sent me this today. Was it? Oh, why Grandpa was there? Hey, Amos. You guys tell me why it shows that on JodiSue Brown that she on May 7th, 2021. We need to check out what's that the whole, you remember those texts or those messages, that dry run that we thought Candace had possibly with H. I mean, I didn't believe that. It was weird text messages, but I don't know. I really never much thought H was involved, but at all. You guys remember that whole thing? This is kind of like the same type of theory idea. If this is true, then this is this is something, this is like preparing. May 7th, 2021. Summer didn't go missing until a whole over a month later after this, after May 7th, 2021. And it's showing JodiSue like posted some video just tagging Summer Wells in Rogersville, Tennessee. And then it's like privated the video. Why would she like, it's like, who's messaging me? Oh, thank you. Somebody sent me what it looks like when you click on it, because she had a screenshot of it. And it says this video is private. I bet law enforcement would be really, I mean, since it's coming up, I bet they really be curious about what this was. That's so odd. Do you guys think that that's some kind of weird, like, fluke, as I put in the description? Or is that like, why would it do that? Oh, Shannon, you don't have to. There's plenty of Christmases in the future. And don't worry about being a member right now. It's okay. Especially since, I mean, things are so expensive. I know you do. Did you click that link I sent you? I think that's the best way to do it. She's had this trouble a while, though, I think. But anyways, here, give me a second. Let's what do you guys, that's odd. That is just so, and we'll bring it up here in a second if there's more people in here later. Because so if me eyes can, maybe there's an expert out there on the interwebs or is watching this that maybe could figure this out. Could she have gone back on a video and edited it after? Maybe. I guess that's the only thing I can think of. Why does she have a video May 7th, 2021? You would think that date too seems like it's like, oh, thank you, Clo, for the Cash App. That's so sweet. So guys, just to make sure I don't show anything I don't want shown, because I'm on my messenger and I don't care what people see on mine. I just don't want to expose you guys. So when you click on it, this is what you get. The video is private. No, are you serious? That's sad, Virginia. Over a month. There's a month difference. This video was posted May 7th, 2021, and Summer didn't go missing until 5 weeks later. Why does it seem like she was preparing for Summerwell's disappearance? For her freaking several years long campaign of distractions on YouTube. Like she was preparing for her duties a month before. Surely, though, I mean, if this is true, surely law enforcement's seen this. I mean, I would think. You would think that would be the main thing they would do is scrub the internet. Surely, I don't know. What do you guys think? What's some theories on that? What that could be? Besides, I don't know. I've been trying to rack my brain. Yeah, a whole month before. She's tagging Summer Wells in Rogersville, Tennessee. And when the person found it, when they clicked on video, this is what they got. See if any of you guys can replicate it later on when in your free time. See if you guys can find this link. Because I am curious. I'm sure, though, law enforcement could get back to it. Yeah, you remember that whole theory of the dry run that with Candace, See if they're, see the metadata on it. I heard today the FBI was asked to enter Sebastian Summers' case for law enforcement not doing what they're supposed to be doing. I saw on Crime Time Buzz. Are you serious? Oh my God, that would be amazing. I'll contact that lead investigator, FBI. I'll make sure that they have Fred's information. Hawkins County is going to hate me. It's kind of scary, guys, because like to think that Hawkins County like could possibly be trying to hide this and I'm working against them. You know what I mean? Like that's scary to think that there could possibly be law enforcement. That's the scariest part to me is law enforcement involvement. I've said that before and I'll say it again. So Brian Koberger didn't have to tell what his motive was in killing all 4 students. That should have been required. Sorry, I just saw something about it. Okay, so I was going to go look at you said true crime Buzz. Dude. Oh, is it?
Seemed like a summer dancing at that for sale barrel. Seemed like it was well made the 21st or something. Video.
Oh yeah, when's that Summer Wells dancing around the barrel video? How does that fit in with all this in the timeline of this
Like
their preparations?
I mean, just like that other local on the creek right there within 3/4 of a mile from the wells that shared that video on the 17th on her page, June the 17th. I thought that was odd. Her sharing that one video.
So early on.
Yeah. And then she was her and her husband, one that supposed to seen certain things that day and
yeah, she got in trouble, guys, for a lot of. I mean, I hope not, but she does have a past in drugs. But that doesn't mean anything like at all. I have a past in drugs. Okay, so I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying that could be a connection to the wells. You know what I mean? So we have to pay attention to who's giving the information. Always, like check the source, check into the source and like their motives. Like you have to, and their connections. They searched it on Yandex. That's why I'm trying to. They searched on a website called Yandex. This woman used to be like hired to do investigating and stuff. So she's like got to know all the special stuff to look up shit. So that's what I'm saying. Look what she actually wrote: Satin, JodiSue, Brown, Rogersville, Tennessee. I'm trying to replicate it myself. But you know, if it's true and if there is something there to it, like I'm sure, I would hope law enforcement has seen it. It looks like it was a Yandex browser on a phone. If you look at the top right. So yeah, son, I know she just spelled it wrong. She just spelled it wrong. But anyways, it's still like odd, you know, like. And when you don't put a title on a video, sometimes it will put like, I don't know. Is that something written or is that an automatic title put by YouTube? May 7th, 2021, Summer Wells, Rogersville, Tennessee. I don't know. Maybe all JodiSue could solve the mystery for us. She could unprivate that and show everybody what that is. And we could just see, that it's a big nothing burger. Yep. Oh, they have many, many years peas in a pod in order to charge them for child abuse, especially sex crimes. Actually, he said, in Tennessee, I think it was 25, wasn't it? After 18. Either way, it was a long time. And, there's plenty of time if the boys want to pursue charges. Once they get older and mature enough and think about things, they might actually go after parents themselves. May 7th would be the right timing for the Red Barrel video. What was the day on that video? Does anybody remember Candace's dry run messaging? Like the date on that? I thought that was June, though. I thought that was June, like 4th. Where did you find the True Crime Buzz? Was something posted today? True Crime. Allure, after submitting the ransom tip, Mindy sent it to me, and I sent it to all agencies. What is that? What's that mean? Hold on.
A completely free e-commerce store
That
preloaded with 20
is not
handpicked products that are trending all over the world.
it.
Basically validated.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. Welcome into Crime Time Buzz. So good to see you. Please hit that like on your way in. We have some important breaking news. The feds have been requested to join, lead, or take over, whichever, the case and disappearance of Sebastian Rogers and Summer Wells. And that comes on the heel of a ransom demand that was ignored in action from Sumner County Sheriff's Office, TBI, National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and the FBI. Now, I know some of you are saying, we're hearing rumblings that you're saying At Night isn't telling the truth. But I myself here can tell you they are, because I was the one who was sent the tip from our source. I submitted it and was with them through this whole journey. And I don't know what I would have done without At Night. My source, the source who received the ransom demand, doesn't know what she would have done without At Night, because we're told he's alive, he's well.
Sounds familiar to get ignored by law enforcement on a tip. Is that what she's talking about? There's some kind of ransom, and Sebastian's case, somebody had a ransom tip or something, and police didn't take it seriously? Or what? Yeah, I know. Who asked to take it over? You know what I mean? Like, anybody can go ask to take it over. I can go ask them to take over Sebastian's and Summerwell's case. You know what I mean? Who, but I'm sure she hopefully gets into that. I don't know. I hope they have been asked by who? By you, or?
Hurry up, get the money. I'm leaving him in a hotel. Okay, so imagine being put in that position and not having someone
Wait, what hotel? Did they say a city? Fredrianne. Hey, Andrew. Oh, nice. Thank you for sending that. It does look like that we have, it looks like Carrie Moody, who actually found on January 29th of 2022 that she actually found that archived May 7th video and June 12th, 3 days before Summer went missing. Nice. Thank you. Nice. What are you doing posting about Summer Wells before she went missing, JodiSue? We're going to turn that. I'm sure that's turned in. But that is weird. A hotel in Cancun is where Sebastian supposedly was.
Respond to you to help get that money, that ransom, whatever was going on, or make contact with this person. It was terrifying. This is Crime Time Buzz. We are here for entertainment purposes only. We are discussing things that are out in the public, actual things that have occurred in the past week during the search for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. When you look in the thumbnail on the left, you will see Sumner County Sheriff Office Sheriff Eric Craddock, Sumner County Sheriff Office lead detective Brandon Carter. He is the lead on this case. There was in action. They had to be demanded to respond that they received it and got the FBI investigating. It was terrifying because Sebastian's life is precious. All children's lives are precious. And when you are in a position,
I don't know what to think about this. It was it was somebody in her chat that got a ransom note that they have Sebastian. Of course, you turned it in, something like that. But, we've dealt with a lot of freaking weirdos who like to come to us and tell us a bunch of BS. So it's sad that somebody would do that. But I don't know if something like that would really get the feds, involved. I don't know about that. I hope so. I really hope. I wish her I really, really do. I wish her the most luck getting the feds to take over the cases. But I feel like there's been many things happen like that. In Summer Wells' case, I don't know. Go listen to my call with Pruitt when he hung up on me. That was kind of weird, if you ask me. And he's the one that called me. But here, yeah, that looks like she made 2 Facebook videos, one May 7, 2020, the other on June 12, 2021. So fakers every time. Is there a big reward? I mean, I know there is for Sebastian, but so what I was saying earlier, for those who are just now joining, is why I believe that the one I have, though, Hair Curlers and Crime, has Summer Wells tag. That's what's weird about it. It has Summer Wells in it, before June 15th. So, but anyways, maybe, yeah, I mean, I remember her Facebook videos, okay, ranting about the property and stuff like that. So that's, anyways, I figure there's probably some kind of explanation for it. I would think, I'd hope. I don't know. I mean, I think that'd be pretty stupid for her to go tag Summer Wells before, but I don't know. The whole, I was talking about earlier why I believed like Fred was sent to Knoxville on purpose. And I was wondering what you guys thought about that. Do you think that that's possible, that they could have done that? Because remember how much attention was on him at that time. You know, it was when his phone call with me I had put on YouTube, and then all those people like harassing the jail and all that. And me and Fred, you know, they started, I'm sure, listening to our phone calls. How much I bet anything they sent him to Knoxville on purpose. It kind of irritating to me that they couldn't, you know, like work that out with him in advance instead of having him sit for 2 months in jail waiting for it to open up, you know, without his like, he had no idea what was in store for him. I truly believe they knew that there was going to be this guy there who had just got there before a couple weeks before Fred got there. This character who was affiliated with the Vice Words and, you know, claimed to have information on Summer Wells. That just so happened. How does that happen? How does Fred get transferred, of all places, to East Knoxville? And then this cookbook right on the counter where it says Mount Carmel Church on it, Rogersville, Tennessee. That is weird. That his daughter helped make. His daughter helped make this cookbook, and some of her recipes are in here. So I don't know. I doubt I really don't think they left the cookbook just F with them. I don't think so. But I do still seriously believe that they purposely placed him there. Because that's when all of that stuff, because they know there's a Knoxville connection. They've known since the beginning they even talked to Fred from the beginning that they wanted to get Don on recording talking about his drug debt, because they had known, you know, about him trying to sell his son before in the past. They knew that on the day Summer went missing. They mentioned it to Fred. So they have to have it somewhere in records that Don did this before, because they knew it on the 15th. And I really doubt that they had already spoke to Mary and them at that point. I feel like they knew it was in that area. It was right by all the motels where Fred was staying. It was right in the area. It's actually really dangerous, but it was right by all those motels. Most people, a lot of people are going to be, you know, are going to know this character because there's a bunch of people, a bunch of druggies at the house. Obviously, it's a transitions living house where people are getting sober. So a lot of people are going to be in the drug scene, the Knoxville drug scene, and they're going to be connected, and they're going to know, you know, who Playboy is, or who this drug dealer could possibly be. Serendipity. I don't know. I just think it's too weird that they made him sit another 2 months, guys. He was supposed to get out December 12th. Remember? Of 2023. And they made him sit till 2 days after Summer Wells' birthday, February 6th of 2024. He had to sit there and he had already done his time. Do you guys remember that shit? It was crazy. I didn't think at the time, oh my God, they're doing this because they're trying to put him in Knoxville at, and at that place at the same time that this other person's going to be there. Hey, Heather. I don't know. Is that crazy thinking or what? I drew cards on it. I know not everybody believes in tarot, but it was like so obvious. It was, in the cards, it was obvious that it was like done purposefully. And I don't know if that's really legal, is it? I guess it would be. They could do whatever they want, I suppose. Would have not that we really care. And Fred would do anything for Summer Wells to get her justice. And I understand too, maybe telling him would have jeopardized it, because then they figured, of course he was with me. And so they're probably listening to her. I don't know. They could have been listening to his phone calls. I have no clue. I know they were probably at the jail, our phone calls. I'm pretty good at it, Amanda. That's like one of the few talents, only talents I have, and that's one thing I will say. I'm good at tarot, and it's just, I don't know how it works, but it does seem to work. And it is like blaring that when I draw the cards that he was placed there on purpose. Whether I feel like they knew, because even Fred said that when he was there, it was like they already knew he was going to be there. It was like they were expecting him or something, not exactly that day, but it was almost like because they know, like Fred, they heard us talking. They knew how passionate like we are for this case. They know, about the truth and Fred seeing Andy on the road and all the stuff that he's saying. So I don't know. I absolutely believe it's possible. I know, and I wish that, and it's bullshit. They should have, it took us forever just to get him up here too. If you guys remember that. It took extra time to get him transferred up to Indiana after he was completely done with the transitions house. And we prepared on everything. If you guys don't remember, we prepared months ahead. Then what happened that we didn't talk about a lot in here, Fred got, because of Crystal Crime Time, she harassed that house so freaking bad. At least that's what we thought the reason was, that, once you graduate from that house, you're allowed to stay there as long as you pay your weekly rent, and keep paying. Well, because Crystal Crime Time harassed that house so bad, and we even have it, the paper, it talking about social media and them being harassed by social media and all that bullshit. Fred was not allowed to stay past graduation. And that could have really, screwed him, because guess what? Oh, they didn't have his transfer ready. Oh, they just, even though I did it months ahead. So that was delayed, a couple months. But yeah, the weirdest thing is just the fact that it took him so long to get him into the transitions house. When he gets there, it's like, empty as can be. There's tons of beds open. I mean, it's super easy to get in. There's tons of freaking houses in that area. No, not that time. It wasn't Luminous. I mean, she might have been one of them, but Crystal was so freaking crazy and crazy Crystal mode at that time, like real bad. Like she was like trying to say I was her family and that I stole her money. It was all around that time. And she was just like harassing this freaking house, like texting, like, you know, this crazy stuff. But, you know, crazier things have happened, really. I mean, for instance, we know that the law enforcement there had purchased alcohol for Don and Candace. I mean, most people would think that that wasn't true, and it was actually true. I just don't know how I feel about it if it is true. They could have freaking gave him freaking a time cut or something, right? Jeez. But JJ, yeah, if you're wanting a reading, you could always message me at any point and or email me, guys, at youtubeziggy@outlook.com and tell me, and I could send you a recorded one where you could just email me your question. I can send you a recorded one for 20, or if you want to do one face-to-face, I do those I'll do it for 30. I changed it for 40 for a second, but that's okay. We'll do 30. Because it's harder to get in scheduled, and they always take, like, I'm at least on there for 40 minutes about. Paid her. I never paid Crystal. You're talking about something different, Shannon. Because it's never about the money, Shannon. It's just a bunch of haters. What's that?
That's what the video shows now.
Why? Which video?
That one that you was trying to pull up or something.
I thought you were talking about my video. You scared me.
No, not the video. The May 21st video or whatever. Supposedly, I don't know.
It's saying it's fully removed for violating. So I'm like, what did I do? I don't think I even played anything to get struck. I mean, I guess Crime Time Buzz, that's about it. I came in here and I was like, shit, am I talking to myself? It was planned all along. Uppers protect a lot of people. I just wish I could know if that were true just for. It's just so strange. Like, it's not really that common that people in Hawkins, I mean, get placed there. And they didn't give us any chance, like, to place them, like, where we wanted to. You know, it was just like, whatever. I don't know. I just was kind of putting that out there, planting that seed in your head and seeing what you guys thought, seriously, because it's really bugging me. Anything that what would make it crazier if it was on Summer's birthday, but I double checked. It was 2 days after Summer's birthday. The May 7th video, yeah, that now says it was removed for violating terms of service. She was able to find it again? No, I mean, she was able to find the link again. Because every time I try to find it, we'll have to see if anybody else can find that link as well. Just another odd thing to add on top of everything else, like with all these supposed dry runs. Child trafficking brings in millions. Mm. Yeah, right there.
Across from that one motel that they're pretty much stayed across each other, just lived at 68. But there's that something out of Graceland that appeared to be Dawn. People parked that one night when I was on the bus. I got a picture of it somewhere. It was in a red Subaru. His red Subaru sitting there, looked just like Dawn, sitting inside that building. He said something about Graceland, something on the sign.
I'm sure he never stopped. I'm sure he didn't stop going to Knoxville. I'm sure you know, anybody who has pictures of Dawn in Knoxville, like since Summer's been missing, we would love to have them, or Andy. That'd be amazing. But I know they've been down there. Does Fred know who this Playboy is in Knoxville? No, we just have theories. So I was my theory, though, somebody sent me his record, which is so crazy. This guy that I was feeling that could be Playboy, who has all these trafficking charges and out of Knoxville and stuff. And also who's affiliated with Rogersville. He was pulled over in Rogersville asleep behind a vehicle. And when they found him, he had warrants for sex trafficking out of Knox County. And they also transferred him. He had warrants out of also Kentucky, London, Kentucky, and Abingdon, Virginia, Southwest Regional area. Like all areas that people in the Breach Creek area like are tied to with this cockfighting and stuff. And I don't know, everybody's tied to that whole, you'll notice it. But and he sued Ronnie Lawson. He tried suing some guards and stuff like that. And he's affiliated with the Vice Lords. Very much like, right, everything seems like on point. But it looks like he could have been in jail when he was in jail when Summer went missing, so he can't possibly be the Playboy that she was handed off to. I wonder, he has to be affiliated in some way because, like, I mean, you got to think how many people are actually like really involved in sex trafficking. Like, I bet they all know each other, and he's involved in sex trafficking. He's passed away now, so it's really doesn't matter too much, unfortunately, unless anybody who's has information, but I kind of wonder if this guy's affiliated because and the thing is, there's supposed to be more than one Playboy, which is a confusing thing. But if you look up, Playboy is a nickname for people in the Vice Lords, and they're the Playboy bunny, and Candace has a Playboy bunny tattooed on her.
Trying to find out more about the certain Playboy we're talking about, his real name and stuff. That one guy I just contacted back in Knoxville. That's going to another transitional housing.
Okay.
because he knew that one that from Sevierville named Playboy too. He knew his real name.
Well, I bet a lot of people's nickname is Playboy. You know what I mean?
But
So
he was a white guy.
yeah, they're going to be Vice Lords affiliated more than likely.
But the one that he said was from Sevierville.
He's always got the girls. Is it a white dude, Andrew? In Knoxville? That's crazy, peas in a pod. That's crazy and really sad. I want to find proof of, so I want to know what Marlena's charges were with the accusations against her with Journey, because you guys, I heard they were like like accusations, and there's pictures of Journey on Facebook that are really kind of, disturbing, like bruises and stuff. That's all I'm going to say. And also somebody, I'm not going to say who in particular, but it's somebody really close to Marlena and Journey, who said that every time they would see Marlena, or every time they would see Journey after Journey had been with Marlena, she would have bruises all up and down her legs, the inner sides of her legs. And that's freaking, I don't know. And there's pictures of it too. So this is not just hearsay. There is pictures of it.
Just like a girl that, Ricky's girlfriend or whatever.
Yeah, somebody asked who's Ricky Liz Crawford. That's a senior.
No, that is his mom. The mom.
Her name's Ricky?
No, that's what she's been going by though.
Yeah, Liz Crawford is his wife.
A lot of pictures out of Gatlinburg and stuff everywhere on the pages.
Oh, so she just.
But Don knew them when he first moved to the creek and stuff, because that's who he worked with. Marlena's dad, Rick. That's when they lived at Light Cemetery Road on the corner, which used to be Andy Bernard's great-grandparents' house. It was a Smith.
White boy from your hometown here in New York. How is white boy going to show his face around here when all these charges come out? Like, it's really gross. The dude doesn't have any integrity. Sorry. So there was something else I was going to bring up here. Oh, I was going to see. What other? See what other. We need to see who this dude is. I'm not going to put him up on the screen, but connected to Dawn from Knoxville with a weird name, like El Cuco or whatever his freaking name is. Huh. Yeah, does it say Summer Wells on it?
Oh, that's true. Click on it, and I just said it to you. Oh, I've got my earbuds in.
Maybe it might work. So, anyway, most of you who don't know, going through property shit, yada yada. So anyway, turns out this piece we thought had been folded back in, like it was supposed to be, was not. And greedy little ass heirs thinking everybody's forgot what the fuck was supposed to happen. So that's where we're at, and whatever, don't matter at this point. So what I have discovered, within a few hours of this shit starting, we put in bed and went home and got into the property documents and surveys and all that stuff from 200 years ago leading up to. So, and for those of you who are unaware, his family in particular owned most of Beach Creek. And I don't mean that in like they own a big piece, or I mean his family owned most of it. So if the survey's been done on any of that property, even though it's changed hands by this point, chances are our family has your survey maps, because as it transferred between family, and here's the thing, even though all those tracts are split up and this and the other, and there's different names associated for most of them, all of them are still related. They're all kin down there for the most part. So turns out we go home after we put in that bid 17 minutes before close, and I'm not going to mention names, but the bitch said that she would take our bid. Obviously did not happen. Didn't expect it to, but for what we knew was going to come after, it was Simpsons. Whole family really ate, and people mentioned it when they came to the fucking house. They sent them pictures of my car. Now my car, as most of y'all know, a lot of times sits at the bottom of the driveway. Okay, they have taken pictures. What was your car? We see, that. I was like, yeah, they're like, we thought it was the real estate guy. And I was like, fuck no, that's my car. We should have given you your first clue. Anyway, there are pictures here.
Now I'll listen to this later. Hey, Ernie. Yeah, it's not. What's this one here?
You have no idea what it was like on the 4th of July. And I went looking for her because there was.
Yeah, 4th of July, she went looking for. I don't know if I've heard this. Somebody sent me a bunch of videos of hold on. I just got a message from so I just got an interesting message. Somebody I haven't talked to in forever. I'm not going to say who in case they don't want to be. Okay. Anyways, they mentioned something about being locked up with a guy who went by Playboy in Knox County. But yeah, the one I'm thinking now, they're saying long hair, looked younger but was older. That sounds right. Skinny, very skinny. He was a white dude. Looks like Don's type. Don's type of people. Though, I figure that there's probably a lot of people, like, with the nickname Playboy. I remember, like, when I was younger, guys calling each other Playboy. But this one, I think that's all they called it. He was a black dude who looked older, or who was older but looked younger, allegedly. That's what the woman says. Now, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a black guy. Hey, Diamond. I'm pretty sure.
There was a video online from what we thought was an unsuspecting local park guy. I just didn't understand what he caught with all these buzzards on the video. So I spent a bunch of July.
I can't understand this very well, so I'll try to decode what I can for you guys. But she's talking about, I think, like, they went searching for Summer because of a smell or something on 4th of July of 2021. So this was only 2 weeks after Summer went missing. And actually, speaking of, we're getting to July 4th. Hey, JJ. So I just thought we would look at some of these.
Look at it. There was a post video and I found where the place was.
Since JodiSue loves us so much, I mean,
knew immediately where it was, the fence line and everything else. And I went all the way down to Rogers and played rock, paper, scissors with Voldemort in his big stomach on who was going to look because there was a smell so goddamn strong. Couldn't breathe. And I knew I was like, this is animal scent, If you've ever smelled human decomp, but man, it's still like, well, what if I'm wrong?
How have you smelled human decomp before? I want to know. I'm just curious. I mean, maybe several of you guys have. Fred has, because he volunteered for the fire department. In situations like that, if you've worked in first response, I really doubt JodiSue has. She doesn't leave her chair. So, in a video she did called Origins, so she's really freaked out here, like crying like crazy because she had smelled decomp, I guess. I don't really remember this. I guess at first, if we remember back to the early on, actually, I wasn't on YouTube until September 4th. So I actually was a little bit late to the party myself, actually. I was in the community. I had been watching since the beginning, but I was late to the party as far as being on here. I just came on here. I wanted to talk. I didn't want to go up on somebody's panel and feel uncomfortable and feel like they're going to just push me off any second. So I wanted to talk somewhere else. So I just went live one day and I had like 50 in my chat or something. And I was like, oh, wow. right? Keep it simple. Yeah, what is that? As if that doesn't. Did she say where she smelled that smell? I'm not sure. We'll keep listening and see if we could try to figure, try to decode. She had her animal death box with bones. Who has death boxes except like ritualistic people? I mean, I don't know what that. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, I'm sorry. I've never heard of such thing. So I apologize if that's like a normal thing. But I've never heard of it. Strange, like she's so into it. Then all of them are. You go to their Facebooks, all of her and all her ones close to her all have like dark. They're all into the dark stuff. What's sad too is like she tries to pass down this evil crap to her children.
What if I have to see? I don't know if I can fucking see. But going doing that, not just once, many times, looking through fucking fields with spotlights, looking for shit others and calling me, she don't want to buy me. Oh. This first day walking that fucking creek, wondering if every time my foot moved, she was going to be at the bottom, but no, it hadn't been enough time for her to sink. Wondering if the next bend in that fucking creek she was going to be there. I have no fucking idea.
I know, right? The captions are like,
yeah, hopefully after tomorrow, he and also both will be locked the fuck up, put on new orders, violated. I don't know what's gonna fucking happen. But I know that.
that's another weird. I don't know her daughter's name, and it's fine. We don't have to put it on here. Don't put it on here. It's okay. I don't need her freaking triggered and freaking having convulsions. So, but nobody. Plus, I don't want her daughter brought into it. I find it sad that she's like involves her children and all this. And in between her, like, bullshit with Andy. But I found interesting that nobody around the area knew her children's names. Like they were all like got these nicknames like Bug and Andy Jr. and nobody knew him as Damien. Is there a reason for that? It's weird. Everybody out there so freaking sneaky with the name shit. Going by their middle names, going by nicknames. She should be 18 now. Yeah, once she's 18, I won't feel as bad, but I hope that she can live a somewhat normal life. I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see. No, not a bit better than last year. Some are still missing. This motherfucker's still abusing us. He's not wearing fucking bruises. Half the world's joined him and made sure he can be pulled out to gain money off of Summer as they watch him jerk off and abuse us as they abuse us too. Just not wearing bruises. That's it.
So she's claiming she's still being abused, but just not wearing bruises. So, and she'll start crying and act like, you're in danger, or, and what it is she's scared she's going to get in trouble or be in some kind of harm's way because, I what's up?
No, Jody, she always speaks peak about 90% of the time.
Is that what the evil people speak? Is that the devil language? What a devil worshiper. What's their language? Devil worshiper language. She's always been very loud and proud atheist. I mean, she was, even before Summer went missing, she was always proud about being an atheist and not.
There's always announcing it on her Facebook videos and stuff. She go on about being atheist and stuff, and then at the end of her video, we'll pray for her family. Pray for, we'll pray for you. It ain't gonna help you unless you change your ways.
Oh gosh. Why would someone assume that Summer would be in the creek so early on? Yeah, and didn't she slip and say one? I think that's one of the videos that we might check out, where she said something about Summer, possibly being in the creek.
Somebody's talking. I seen a video or something yesterday. Somebody talking about she went back to check see if that's why she went to the creek or something, see if Summer was still at the creek.
I think that you're talking about agnostic, aren't you, Moonshine Girl?
I mean, on the 15th, she did try to get me to go to a certain point in the creek to look at something. I wouldn't go. I told law enforcement about it,
But she tried to get
me to go to a certain point in the creek to look at something under.
Oh, then maybe she's agnostic if she's
under the water. She tried to say or something.
Oh, really? She tried to get you to go down and look in the water? Agnostics don't believe in the devil either. So learn something new every day. So I guess she wouldn't be considered atheist or agnostic.
It was recorded.
What?
That where she was trying to get me to go and look in the creek.
She was saying she saw something strange. That's so weird. What would you see strange?
See, I hadn't talked to Jody or nothing, or Andy or none of them when I'd come in when Summer went missing and stuff, and I hadn't talked to them in a long time before then. But when I went back down there, the law enforcement sent me down there to record, and that was when a lot of stuff was said. That first time I talked to them at probably 8-9 months or something.
Oh, Jody's doing them? So what do you think? Do you think you were placed in Knoxville on purpose now, thinking back?
Yeah, possibly.
So you remember having this?
I mean, that close to where the motels was and stuff. Then they had me taken care of the 5th Street halfway house too, doing all the drug screenings and stuff for the DRC. Yeah, I'd have to go there twice a day, morning and evening. And that's right there. 5th Street's just like a street up from where the two motels was, off of Magnolia. 5th Street cuts off Magnolia, so does Nash Street, where I was at the hell thought about.
It does kind of make me look like I have devil horns, doesn't it? That's funny. Oh gosh. That's what I get for calling Jody Sue.
Last July 4th, though, you know where it was? Missed fireworks then, too. But it's because I was looking for somewhere with spotlights during the night. So police kept them on video and went looking for somewhere in a spot because of a thing that had happened and went out with spotlights looking for it. Last July 4th. That's what it was. Slowed video down and figured out what spot I needed to be looking for. Headed for it. And then played rock, paper, scissors with that motherfucker because of his weak ass stomach. See who would look. Look at all the buzzards and see how they're a little wild that they've been. And smells fucking overpowering that night, you know, without the spotlights. It wasn't hard. That's what I was doing on last July 4th.
No. Did you, Fred? Did you see Ryan's last live?
No.
No, what was it about? We just don't watch them or pay attention to them.
As far as St. Williams, I never knew of him or nothing until them charges and stuff. They come out, everybody got ironed it on YouTube.
Yeah, it makes you wonder.
I mean, there's one picture of him, looks like somebody that had been around Ben Hill back, I don't know, when the Davises lived back there and stuff. About time Dawn had first moved to Ben Hill and stuff. About time Jack Dykes got shot and all that up there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a man that looked a lot like him in that one picture that they posted of him with that real bushy hair.
Chilby said there was a rumor of double stacked grave in Beach Creek. Have you heard that, Fred? How would Chillbilly know such a thing and Fred not? Who does he know out there? Was JodiSue always like this? She doesn't know what the hell she is saying or doing. She is very strange. Was she always like that? Carolyn, was that you on Facebook that sent Fred a request? Was it you? Just making sure it's... Yeah, was JodiSue always like hard to understand and stuff?
No, she never did talk in riddles and stuff when I've ever talked to her before around the creek and stuff. And she never called nobody monster or nothing like that either. Yeah, she always talked pretty plain.
About a gathering night before Summer went missing. There was like a little party, I think, for Journey for her birthday. Chillbilly dude all up in Ryan's chat. Yeah, because I think he's kind of like, I don't know. Actually,
went to a lot of different motels looking for Dobbs, but Dobbs was at a motel. I thought he was at the Baileyton motel, but somebody said he was at the one in Churchill, so I don't know. But supposedly his son had been with him too, so I don't know really. I wasn't there, so I don't know. I didn't even know anything about Dobbs until after the fact that his name and stuff come up about on YouTube.
So
I didn't even know he'd been in the holler or nothing, the incident with him or nothing on the 14th.
nobody said anything to you?
No, I didn't know nothing about it. But I hadn't traveled around or nothing on the 14th or nothing. You know?
They didn't say anything in the recordings about him? He said it was connected to no name since someone else said Juanita Light.
Juanita Light, that's Stanley Dyks's sister. Definitely Pale's aunt. But Juanita, I was trying to think when they met her OD.
Chillbilly knows sign, Candace. Talking crap about, oh, it's okay. We don't care what people say. Oh.
Yeah, Chillbilly, you remember when he was asking me about that one truck? Did I know a certain truck?
Yeah.
That come back to a woods when I looked it up. And Jody was asking the same woods about enough something that are to kill a bunch of people, like in 2018 or something other, on her Facebook page. The same woods that owns that truck.
Do you remember saying that you saw Rose in the Hills, but people were saying they didn't believe you? But I do, because of all the stuff they were into.
Well, I kind of question myself about that now. You know, there's another picture that I think seen recently of somebody else that looked just like a woman I seen that favors Rose a lot.
Yeah, which is a cousin of Candace or something.
That was the one that was supposed to be an address.
Yeah, her address was tied to Ben.
2021.
Yeah, that it showed her tied to 110 Ben Hill Road until June 2021. And the girl's name is Deb. I won't say the last name, but he saw her picture and was like recently, he was like, "Oh my God, is that who I thought was Rose Bly?" So now he's like questioning himself on that, if that could have been who he saw. I mean, of course, this was going to be like how long ago? How long ago would it have been? Trying to remember when Rose went missing. She died November 2021. I think I just saw a termite, and they said there's no termites, but yeah, I just saw one. Okay. People talking about her are being tacky and trying to get views, clicks, say that. Oh, well, once they'll have a lot of explaining to do, someday once the truth comes out, for, kissing Don and Candace's ass, and also being all buddy with Andy Bernard, and when it's clear, we've seen way too many things for people to sit here acting like they don't see it and are blind to it. So way too many red flags with that dude. That's why I always stick to what I know is right. So I mean, down the road, I don't have to freaking worry about looking like I supported a freaking somebody who was involved the whole time, People looking for a blue truck. Don Wells has one in Hill. The blue truck that Fred saw was really nice.
It could be mistaken for black.
Yeah, it looked like it had a new paint job, which was strange. I know, like, yep, baby girl. And Fred witnessed that himself and overheard them themselves talking about it. He overheard EquiSearch talking about that. About
It makes me wonder now, though, if maybe it could have been dope or drugs or something that he had hid and went back and dug up and moved. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because he was there before the law enforcement, just like Dawn.
Don and Andy were there before law enforcement.
Yeah, both of them was there before law enforcement.
Yeah, and you witnessed Andy getting paid money by Don Wells. I mean, you guys.
Thing I seen. I mean,
Andy on the road that late afternoon.
I mean, why would you be worried about paying somebody money on the evening that your daughter goes missing? You're not going to be paying nobody nothing. You could be worried about your daughter unless you already knew exactly what.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
My opinion, that's why Andy didn't like EquiSearch, is what Darlene said. Yeah, because it was EquiSearch that found the disturbed grave or disturbed ground over on the Bernard Fields property, Fields Road property. That's why he had such a problem with it, or with them. And then that's why they stopped putting out where they were searching. They started getting more secretive because of that incident.
I was staying one step ahead of them.
Yeah. So it was like they stopped putting out so much about.
Don coming to my house every little bit. They're trying to figure out what I told the law enforcement and stuff. That would be the first things he asked me every time he pulled up. Did I think of anything else to tell them? What did I tell them and stuff, you know? And no matter what I said, I've done told them that. They done checked that out, you know?
But yeah, good point.
We'll stay here and be good now.
Thanks, Fred. Always thought it was weird how Dobbs shared missing kids on his Facebook. Then Summer goes missing day after he's there. Yeah. You know, I was just going through his face or his YouTube yesterday, just kind of looking through it and stuff. He seems to really want justice for Summer Wells. I don't know what to think about him. I don't know. I really never really thought that could be anything, but I don't know. You know, it makes you wonder, was something supposed to go down on the 14th and like did Dobbs get in their way or something?
From what I understood, what DJ said, it was supposed to went down on the 13th because DCS, they didn't do it till the 15th. From what Dennis said.
They waited longer because they waited till CPS was gone.
No.
I believe that.
That was when supposedly her bag was packed for Summer was on 13th too.
Yep. When Journey saw it.
Mm-hmm. And Journey didn't tell me that it was a suitcase. She told me it was like a backpack, where she described it.
Like a backpack?
Yeah.
Don didn't like him either, right, Annie? Well, let's hope that that's true about them getting FBI more interested, or I don't know if I believe that. I mean, anybody can contact them, and you guys, yes, we've noticed a lot of weird things with law enforcement. So there was, I guess, this woman on that Crime Buzz channel or whatever is trying to say that somebody in her chat or one of her mods or something was sent a ransom letter that they had, Sebastian, and they wanted this amount of money. And anyways, I guess like law enforcement ignored it really and didn't take it seriously. And so this girl's like on this campaign to have FBI take over like Summer Wells and Sebastian's cases. She claims that there could be movement on that, but I don't know where she's getting that. I haven't watched exactly what she's saying or why she thinks that. Do y'all think the reason Candace won't tell y'all is because she's scared of Jodi Sue? Their last name is Lopez. I wish Fred could see the people inside of it, because if they were Mexicans or mixed people, because the people that Don knew was mixed, and I think that was in a blue truck, their last name Lopez. Dobbs was a wrecking ball to their systems. Yeah.
Depending on who she's talking about, Paul.
Who? Is Fred have anyone he and Andy are related to named Paul?
Depending on the last name.
Paul.
I've got an uncle named Paul Hill, but
Yeah, Paul Hill.
if he's even still alive, I don't know if he's still alive or not.
Hey, Rita. So that would be your dad's brother. Yeah, so his dad's brother, his dad has a brother named Paul.
That's a preacher.
Oh, that's a preacher.
Or what? I mean, like I said, I don't even know if he's still alive or not. Because he was the youngest one. He's the latest young one that my mom had. Also.
Let's see what other videos we got here.
Or whatever, like he was gonna sleep down here, and he was trying to give me like options, like, oh, I'll go outside and I'll sleep down here, you can wait, stay down here or whatever. And then he tried to shove me out the door or what. Dad said that you were going somewhere and I should wait for, like, he was staying here tonight or whatever. Like, he was gonna sleep down here. And he was trying to give me, like, options. Like, oh, I'll go outside and...
Yeah. Let's see.
I'm not explaining it to you in text, you can talk to me on the goddamn phone. Bye.
Let's see what other ones we have here. Freaking. JodiSue is the one with the flowers. I was just listening to see what those were. I'm having a hard time loading the other ones that I have. But I just wanted to come on here for a little bit, guys, and talk to you. I guess I could probably get off here. I really don't have much more to say. I just wanted to talk about that, my theory with that. Because it's just very, very strange how everything went down. I didn't start to realize this until like very recently. Like, oh my God, a light bulb went off in my head. I'm like, oh my God. Like, I mean, I've thought about it before that they could have purposely placed him there, but now I'm like remembering how they kept him in jail longer, and how just like very coincidental that, oh, it just so happens that Fred's going to run into somebody who claims to know Playboy and stuff and knows stuff on Summer Wells. Like, how weird of, that seems so strange, that Fred would be in that type of position again to be getting pretty, evidence on Summer Wells, just like being there when it's just, I don't know, like to me, it just seems like it was set up. Soon we're gonna I want to get Fred really wants to get the lie detector test for that Cotton Simpson that everybody thinks they've seen the results of and that they really haven't. We have to get them from Knoxville TBI, like the downtown, like directly through them, and you have to pay $40 to get it for like all the questions and stuff were in the final answers. They send them off to like a team of people that do go over the questions, and what was shown on here was just like an overview of it that was sent. It wasn't like all of it at all, and he knew, like she even told him that it had to be put as whatever it said, no opinion or whatever, until that team of people had seen it. So we need to get the actual results from that. Like, I haven't had the money to really do it, but if anybody else, I mean, I would think anybody could, right? It would be public record. So there's 2 Lopez on Don's Facebook. Somebody was just mentioning something about Lopez. Somebody sent me like it's weird. Yeah, you can't hardly understand her at all, but all right, guys. I think I'm going to go. I have to really pee, so I think this is a good stopping point. I got to get back to work, but I figured I could come on here like once a week or whatever to stop in and say and talk about whenever I have like something on my mind I want to discuss. I'm not going to have something on my mind that's we every single day. this was really on my mind because I wanted to see if I was just crazy for thinking that, or if you guys think that's possible. And it seems like most of you seem like you think it could be possible. That it's just crazy that they would make them sit there a couple extra months just to put them in a specific house. You know what I mean? Anyways, guys, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you guys. Please hit the like and subscribe, and I will talk to y'all later.